Hi friends, welcome to second video of how to take EC2 instance backup. So in last video, we have seen how to create a custom image from an existing EC2 instance. So in this video, we are going to see how can we launch an instance from already created AMI, right? So AMI is basically what we are going to take a backup from the existing image, and it is a complete blueprint of existing details and configuration and metadata of an EC2 instance. And now we are going to relaunch the same AMI, which exactly relaunch the same instance, which exactly replicates with the existing instance, right? So we are going to do that. So just click on select the existing AMI that you want to use for the instance. You can see a button over here which is launch instance from AMI. When you click on it, you will be able to see the instance palette which is used, right? So you are selecting your custom AMI over here, and it is having this configuration. And what you are going to do is you have the facility to change your size of the EC2 instance when you are going to launch instance from your custom AMI, right? So you can also change the PEM key that you created, or so this process, right? So this option is mostly useful when you lost the PEM key of an existing instance and you take the backup of the instance, and when you try to relaunch, it will ask you to select another PEM key, or else it will ask you to create another PAM key, right? So you can select Ubuntu server, or you can also create another one. So what I'm going to give the name for it is, so backup Ubuntu. So this name I'm going to name it for the PEM key. So create a key pair and come here and scroll down and select the network settings. So here, this time you can launch the AMI in different availability zone, which you have seen in before, right? You can choose any of the availability zone. So my instance, I'm going to choose US East 1D, right? So this is a subnet that I have selected, and you can select the security group. So and I have my custom security group, which is open port I have created, and I'm going to click on launch instance. Rest of the configuration is same, right? So when you click on launch instance, it will take some time to create and boot up the instance, right? So when you click on the hot link of the instance ID, it will be redirected to that particular instance which you have created right now, right? So here, if you select this instance ID, you select that particular instance, you scroll down, you will be able to see the AMI ID, right? This is the AMI ID. So go to the instances, go to AMIs. So here you have your AMI. If you want to verify that is the same AMI that you created and you have used for creating new instance, just do Command F and paste the AMI over here. So that will be same. Okay. So that means you have created a instance from your custom AMI, and you have created a custom AMI from already launched instance, right? So if you remember, in my old instance, I have installed few packages like Ansible, Docker. So let's see whether those packages are existed in the newly created instance also. So right, so let's go to the instances page. Right, let's go to the instances page. So I can see my new server without any name which is being running and initializing. So let me give some name as backup server. Okay, so backup. So if you observe, right, so these two are in, okay, unfortunately, I have selected the same availability zone. But if you observe, we have the facility to change the availability zone also when you are relaunching an instance from AMI. Okay, let's try to do that again. We can launch another AMI. So what we can do is go to images. So you have your image which is owned by you. Okay, let me go to the instances, and you have your AMIs, and you select the AMI and click on launch AMIs. And this time I'm going to select the availability zone as B. I'm going to use the same key pair and the same instances type, and the key pair should be backup Ubuntu, and I'm going to choose default availability zone, which is US East 1A, right? If you observe, the previous server is 1D and it is in 1A. So likewise, you can diversify your servers in between different availability zones, which gives the high availability for your application, right? So you have an option to select your security group as well. You can select your existing security group, and yeah, that's it. You can leave all the settings default and click on launch instance, right? So if you observe the differences, right, there are three servers. So if you observe, the first two servers are in 1D and 1D. Okay, so the other server, which is 1A, which is just now we have launched, you can also verify whether all the packages are running on top of this server or not. So let me connect to the server by using Cloud Shell. So instance connect, right? So when you click on connect, so you will be able to connect to the EC2 instance by using the Cloud Shell. So it will establish a connection with SSH into your Ubuntu server. For as far as my concern, instead of connecting to the server with a Git bash or third-party SSH client, so the best practice is to connect to your instance with your instance connect, right? So the difference is when you are executing a SSH command to connect, you have to execute that particular command either on the CMD in Windows or bash in Windows, right? You can use a third-party connection SSH client. You can also use PuTTY if you are using PPK files instead of PEM. So, but here, as a best practice, I suggest you to connect to the instance using your Cloud Shell for that EC2 instance connect, right? So we have connected to that particular server and clear the screen. And we have the server up and running. Let's do some Docker PS. Unfortunately, yes, I can see that. So Docker is installed and running on top of new server as well. That means usually when you are running Docker and when you are installing Docker in instance, by default, right? By default, Ubuntu user will not have privileges to run the Docker commands. In the last instance that I worked on, I mean the instance which is Volt, which I have used to take the backup, there I have given the privileges of running Docker commands for the Ubuntu user. That means that is the reason it is able to run the Docker ps command without any error. Okay, let's check the Ansible version or Maven version, which is already installed on the old server. Yes, Maven is also existed. So let's check with the in terms of Ansible. Yes, Ansible is also existed. Okay, so the following arguments are required. I missed one more hyphen. Yes, I can see that. Okay, so these packages are installed on the world server. We have taken the entire backup of the server into AMI, and from the AMI, we have relaunched the instance. All right, so I hope this video is very informative for you. So we'll see some more advanced concepts in coming session in terms of AWS. Thank you so much. Have a good day. If you do like my content, please subscribe and share it. Thank you so much, guys.